Hello, friends. This is Mrs. Z. Today we're going to talk about fifth grade, the number base 10, objective 6, which is area model of division. But we will think about solutions that is connected to multiplication and in connection with division. So I have two examples. It's connection to the 4.NBT.6 5 and 6 from fourth grade, and it's good review from fourth grade to fifth grade. Okay, so what operation is represented by the area model shown? In the fourth grade, you will need it to figure it out what this is multiplication problem because numbers are outside, and it will be 15 times 300, and then also 15 times 20 and 15 times 6. So that is when you see this problem, you will know that this is multiplication of 15 times this number together. So 300 plus 20 plus 6 makes 326. So your problem is, we can say 326 times 15 is question mark. Or we can say 15 times 326. It will give us the same answer. So let's do the first area. So 15 times 300. We can see here that we have two zeros. Two zeros represents 200, 100, sorry. It means 100. So that means you can definitely say this is 3 times 100. So I can easily multiply 15 times 3 and times 100 will give me the number in the middle in product. So 3 15s, if you think 15 plus 15 is 30, plus 15 is a 45. So 3 times 15 is 45, and times 100 is 4,500. And we are done with this area. Now, this is 15, so is this line here. So then if I'm going to work on this area, it will be 15 times 20. Again, this is represents 10. 1 0 represents 10. So that means 2 times 15 is 30, and times 10 is 300. Okay. Next is 6 times 15. So 15 times 6. If you like to see that, you can use some logic here. You already know that 3 times 15 is 45. So if you double 45, you will get how much is 6 times 15, because 45 plus 45 is 90. So that would be the 90. So 6 times 15 is 90. Other way, you can just add 15 6 times, and then you will get the same solution. So that's easy. So if you don't, you can think whole number addition. And this is for those people who do not know what 6 times 15 is. 2 4 5 6. I can think that as these two are 30. These two are 30. This is called a whole number addition, and this is 30. So now 30 plus 30 plus 30 is, these two is 60, and plus this 30, it would be 90 altogether. So I'm going to underline and write 90. Okay, so that's what prove it. So what we need to know is now 326 times 15, or 15 times 326 is same as if we add these numbers together. So I'm going to find the room right here, 4,500. I'm going to draw a line through it. And then I'm going to add 390. So underline plus 0.984. 4,890 is solution to this multiplication problem. 4,890. 4,890 community property, you got the same product. All right. So let's talk about this problem. This was kind of fourth grade, fifth grade bit with divisor that is 2-digit multiplication, and then this would be the division problem. But when you see that this is a divisor is 15, and then these numbers are our dividends. So when we add them together, it would be that this number divided by 15 would be our solution, is going to be on the top numbers that we're going to add here. So when we add those numbers, we will have a solution for our division or quotient. Okay, so let's talk about first. We're gonna add 4,500. This is the same number like one over there, but it's okay. It's just I want us to be relationship between that. You can see a relationship in between multiplication and division. So when I add these, first rule is add them together. So then you will have your first number, which is dividends, 4,890 divided by 15 by divisor, and this is unknown, is quotient. Quotient is unknown. Okay, and quotient is these numbers that we need to figure it out. So let's see that strategy. 15 times what here? This is 100. So that will go directly in my answer. Okay, and I will need to figure it out how many 15s are in 45. 15 plus 15 plus 15 makes 45, so that means 3. So 3 times 15 is 45, times 100 is really 4,500. So the solution for first part is 300. Now this is 15, same thing. 15 divided by what makes 15 times what makes 300. Here you have only 3, so that doesn't work. So you can think about combining the 0 with 3, and then you can think this is 10 and this is 30 tenths. So 15 times what makes 30? So 2 15s are in 30, and times 10 is really 20. So 15 times 20 is 300. And then the last is how many 15s are in 90. If there is 2 15 is 30, so there is 6 15s in 90, because 90 has 30 plus 30 plus 30, so 2 plus 2 plus 2 makes 6. So this is our quotient. So 300 plus 20 plus 6 is 326. And then this is solution for division problem, 5th grade, 5.NBT.6. Divide by 15 has a quotient of 326. Okay, so the reason I'm teaching this is because on the test, sometimes you do have these numbers. These all like 4,500, 390, 620, 30, even other numbers that are not part of the solution. They could be laid out on the top, and then students in digital component, they have to drag a 300 to this box, 20 to this, 6 to this, and then after that they need to find what is a quotient for this problem. Okay, and it's if they never see this and they never work on this, then they won't understand it. Let's try one more problem. So when you see this, the numbers are outside. This is our multiplication representation, and then if we see the numbers inside of the boxes, this represents division for us. So if this is multiplication, we can go 54 times 165, or we can say 165 times 54. So it doesn't really matter. We can say 54 times 165 equals question mark. And this is a question mark is a product. And this vocabulary word is important, knowing what is solution for multiplication. Solution for multiplication is called product, and that's what we need to know. Okay, let's see, 54 times 100. We can say 54 times 1 is 54, but what they're 100, so we add 100 to it. So 5,400 is our first part of first product. Next is also 54, because this is 54. This is line is same congruent. Congruent line gives you the same length. So 54 times 60. So 54 times 60. Now, this is more difficult for kids to understand. What is a 6 54s? So you could easily multiply 54 times 6. If you use standard algorithm, or you can do 54 6 times and add. 6 times 4 is 24. I remember 2. And 6 times 5 is 30. So 30 plus 2 is 32. I like to use arrows like I did 6 times 4. See, I did 6 times 4, and that was a 24. So 2 tens I remember, and then 4 1 stays. Now I'm moving to 5 tenths. 6 times 5 I write is 30, and then adding 2 makes 32. So answer is 324. So here is 324. And then now you have 5 times 54. So it's the same thing. We can do the or we can just do the solution 324 minus 54. If we know 6 are this match, logic is if I take away 154, then I will have solution for that. It could be done that way. Or you can do again multiplication, which will be 54 times 5. 4 times 5, 4 fives is 20. Remember 2, okay, tenths. Now I did this one. Now I'm going to do 5 times 5 is 25. So 25 plus 2 is 27. And then I have answered what is 5 times 54 is 270, okay. So here is your multiplication problem. It's 100 plus 60 plus 5, it's 165 times 54. And the answer is the numbers inside that you figured it out. So 270 plus 324 plus 5,400. So I'm going to put it on the side and add those. So I made a big, I'm going to make a smaller number so it can fit. Okay, there. And then draw the lines through it. Okay, I'm placing the 324 doesn't have any thousands, so I can put 0 here to make a clean work, or 270 doesn't have either thousand, so I'm allowed to have the 0 if I wanted to make sure that I don't make messy work. So I'm going to add, so 4, 9, 43, 7, and 8, 9 again. And that is 5,994. So answer is 5,994. And this number is called product. And this was example for multiplication. Okay. So let's do now, when you look this model, you could have those, as I could tell you, they could have a boxes in the top and they will write random numbers. They could have a, like 5, and then they could have this 200. 270, then they could have, they could even have a number that doesn't belong. So 20, for example, they could have number that is 54. They could have number that is 5,994. Just like making this, and then the students need to draw to add here 60. So now you have a choice, and you have to drag the numbers that they will go in these boxes right here. All right. So that's the, but if you don't know how to find what the number is, you won't be able to take the number and drag it in correct spot. So let's see how we can figure it out. So when we look, this is division problem. So its first is to take these numbers inside and add them up, so we know what is our dividend. So 3,240 and 270. When we add them up, we got 4 and 7 is 11. So now, did messed up with that, did I? Okay, hold on. I forgot this one, guys. This was a 54 times 60, and that is 324. But then, you see, I easily made mistake. This is time 60, 54 times 60. So here is additional 0 that Mrs.Z missed. And that is going to give you all that different solution to this problem. So now this is a 3,240. So here I needed to have this 3,240. Don't worry, guys, I made mistakes, so it's okay. You're gonna make million mistakes as long as you figured it out that you made mistake, and then you can fix it. All right. So let me fix my mistake. So now instead of 324, I actually needed 3,240 because I multiply by 54 by 6 and I got 324. But it wasn't 6, it was 60. So I needed to add a 0 to the end. So now 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. And now 4 plus 7 is 11. Remember 1. Okay, so now 1 and 4 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that stays. And then 5 plus 3 is 8. So the problem here is 8,910. So the solution for this problem is 8,910. Okay, so what that means is if you have 54 times 160, 54 times 50, 165 is equals to 8,910. Right? Product is that. And I apologize for these mistakes, but that's a good school. You learn on your mistakes and you are not ashamed of it because I did lots of work. So it's okay even for teacher to make mistakes. So let's see. So that's also, I check multiplication with division and I figured it out. My work was wrong. Guys, okay. So 0, 4 plus 4 is 8. Oh, and I remember 1, so that's 9, because 4 plus 7 is 11. So another mistake here, and then answer is 8,910, which is matches with this one, 8,900. This is 10. So now we know what our dividend is. So 8,910 divided into 54 is going to give us our quotient. And that is what are we going to get from the numbers that are on the top. So now you start thinking, okay, here is the divisor is 50, so my group is 50. If I have here 54, so that means I can say, oh, 1 times 54 is 54. So definitely I can put 1 in my solution. But then here I have 2 more zeros, which means this represents 100. So I have to add those zeros to, because 54 times 100 is 5,400. Okay. Next part of our quotient is that 3,240. And remember how I was working on this here, and a solution is a 60, but how we could figure it out, this number to do. So first thing we know, here is the 0, so that goes in our answer. Okay, that's 10. So so now how many 54s are in 324? So you can think, and this could be a logical thinking, how you can figure it out without adding 54 until you reach 324. You can round this 54. 4 is less than 5, so I can round this to be 50. So if I skip count by 50, I can say 15, 50, that's 100, and 50, that is 150, 200, 250, 300. So 6 50s are in a 300. And I have 324. So I can guess that this is a 6. 6 times 54 has to be 60 times 54 has to be this number. If you don't know this, then you have to go and say 54, that's 1, plus 54, that is 108, 250, then 54 will be 3. That is 2. Remember, 1, 6. And that is another 54. That would be 11, 216. That's 4. And then 54. 0. Remember, 1. That's 70. 270. That's 5. And 54. And that is 324, and that is 6. So right now you can see there is a 6, 54, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 54 is 324. So then you can say, okay, now I am correct. 60 times 54 is 3,240. And now the last but not least, you can think, okay, 54, what times 27? It's 54 times what makes 27? Doesn't make sense. So 54, how many 54s are in 270? When you do this, you can easily figure it out, because here is the 270, and then that means there is a 5 times 54 is 270. So when you have this addition, whole number addition solution, you can easily find this is 5, so that is 5 times 54. 5 times 54 is 270. So I've got my solution. My quotient is 165. So what means is 8,910. This was a problem, division problem. Divisor was 54. Dividend was 8,910. And then my quotient was 165. 165. And that is the last part of this. I hope that this makes sense to you, or it at least help a little bit. All right. Practice makes it better. Even if you make mistake, it's okay, guys. It's okay. I'm not ashamed of my mistakes. I do lots of work, and here is all my pride. So you should be proud of whatever you do and how much work you have done, and you learn on your mistakes. And this was Mrs. Z. I'm trying to make it. No, that's not. This is possibility to see all of it. Trying to make it nicer. Here is it. It's Mrs. Z, and have a great night, guys. I hope you like it. Ciao.